Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. Helping people with disabilities live full lives after they leave the education system. That is one of the goals of our next guest, who is vice chair of the Board of Chosen Freeholders in Bergen County, Tracy. And she is the one that brought Project Search to Bergen County. So first, let's start by saying thanks for being here, and then also, what is Project Search?
Larry, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you today about Project Search, because the problem that we're having in our community is that we have an autism rate of 1 in 45, and we have wonderful programs that support individuals with disabilities up to 21. And then when the school bus stops, so do the programs and the supports. And this is a population with tremendous abilities, not just disabilities, and it's changing that conversation so that we can tap into those abilities. And that's what Project Search does so amazingly. It trains young people in that transition year, the last year of education, with portable job skills so they can have real, meaningful employment and contribute to our communities in meaningful ways.
How long are you involved? When does a person become sustainable on their own?
So this targets individuals age 18 to 21, usually in the last year of their education, and the game plan is for it to be a transition year. If it's necessary, or if they think it's advantageous, the person could be eligible for another year as long as they're under 21 and the educational funding is still there. But the goal is that after that year, they have job skills and they're ready to be placed, and the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation can help with that placement. Very often, they'll go to work at the job site where they were, and that's why we targeted, and this is the target of Project Search, businesses that have more than 200 people with about a 7% turnover ratio, so that there's potential for employment there going forward. But the businesses don't promise to hire these young people. It's only if they're successful and they're great candidates for those jobs will they get those jobs.
It's such a wonderful program, and it's wonderful in that it helps people with disabilities when they leave school. So let me be the jerk that talks about the selfish reasons for this. It does also make it so taxpayers don't have to support these people for all their lives.
You know, the beautiful thing about this, and it expands the conversation and the dialogue about what jobs these young people can do and what people with disabilities can do in general. You know, that there might be opportunities for them to have jobs with pensions and insurance so that they are not, they're not drains on the society, but they're contributing members of our community. And I think that we need to understand the face of disability has changed, and that there's more that we need to be looking at the abilities and not the disability.
Does it work well for the businesses too? Do they have a success rate as well?
Absolutely. You know, I have this conversation with so many of our businesses who hire individuals with disabilities. These employees are their most loyal employees. They're sad when there's a snow day and work is closed. They are doing jobs that are difficult and that maybe there's a hard retention rate for. And quite frankly, this is a good business decision for them. So, I'm excited to have our partners in this in Bergen County. When we put out the RFP for a business partner, I was so thrilled that we had 3 amazing RFPs. We couldn't decide between one.
What's an RFP?
A request for proposals of people who wanted to participate with us. And we had all 3 major hospitals in our community apply. Wow. And we chose 2. We couldn't decide, and we got funding to do an extra pod of it. So we're actually, instead of launching 1 pilot, we're launching 2 pilots this year.
And how do you choose who gets involved, or do they apply to you?
So we formed in Bergen County, the Board of Chosen Freeholders provided the initial startup funding. We provided $30,000 for the licensing fee with Project Search. And this was with the support of our county executive, James Tedesco, and we chose to have this be a project of our Workforce Development Board, and partially because they have the resources and the skills and the talented people around them to put this forward, and partially because we have an amazing executive director, Tammy Molinelli, who really wanted to spearhead this. And then they reached out to the business community and found.
I'm talking about people with disabilities and families of people with disabilities. Do they apply to you, or do you choose?
So it's partially both. Okay. They go to the school districts and ask for this to be part of their IEPs, their individual education plans. And so then the school districts come to us, and the children apply. The young people apply. Then we have a skills assessment day, and we make sure that it's the right population, because this program isn't targeted for that very high functioning kid who's going to be okay anyway. This is targeted towards that middle child who is going, with these supports and with this training, can be successful.
Who needs the help.
Who needs the help.
So you don't have to, you don't have to pad your success rate.
Exactly. It is targeting and making sure we're getting that population. And so we had this skills assessment day at the end of May. They come in, and it's to make sure they're where they stand on things like hygiene and their ability to follow directions. We know that those skills aren't going to be honed yet.
Well, great. Well, good luck with it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. See, you were nervous. You were great. Thanks so much. Tracy Zur, who is the vice chair of the Board of Chosen Freeholders in Bergen County. More importantly, she brought Project Search to Bergen County. That wraps up Jersey Matters for this week. I'm Larry Menti. Stick around now for another thing.